So, is it worth it to spend $80 on Gridiron Studios and Valaverse to make this Firefly, or just keep your $25 classified Firefly like this? Well, keep watching to find out. Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the Gridiron Studios Saboteur Loadout. Now we're going to be looking over here maybe at times to see what the exact price was in case I forget. But, so what I got here, these aren't mine. A buddy of mine got these, but they haven't been opened. I don't even know what they're like. Is the Gridiron Studio stuff. And what we have in here is Alpine Loadout, Red Black Loadout, and then the Saboteur or Firefly Loadout. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. But I wanted to show you, this is how they come packaged. Alright? So, there's no frills to it. There's no, urban box like this, different things like that, what Valaverse gives you. But we're going to take a look at it. And what we're going to see is it worth spending what it comes out to $50 after shipping and handling, not to mention plus a figure, which is $22, which right now you can't even get this figure. So you can either take a figure if you have like this from Valaverse. You can take your Firefly, which I really do like the Firefly, so I don't really want to mess with my Firefly, and see if it's worth the cost, because really in the end, you're going to be spending close to $80 for a Firefly with this loadout. Whether or not you take the original Firefly if you have it, or this Valaverse figure, which is made to look just like Firefly, let's be honest. So we're going to put it on this figure. We're going to see how it looks. And then we'll decide whether or not, well, I'm sorry, I'll let you guys decide whether or not you want to, if it's worth your money, your time, everything that's going to take. But I've also never put on one of these loadouts, so we're going to see how it goes. So before we get started here, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified. And again, I have 3 loadouts. I'll do 3 different videos with figures that will look similar to. But again, this is going to be a pricey figure with loadouts using 3D printed weapons, I believe. That's what I've been told. And then a figure that unfortunately you can't even get anymore. Eventually, I think Valaverse hopefully will re-release them, so if you want to get it. But you're going to look at 35 bucks right here. So you're looking at getting pretty pricey, and that goes the same for Firefly. If you get this Firefly, you're looking at about 35 bucks on eBay, and then you're shipping and handling. So let's not waste any more time. Let's open this up, see how everything looks, and then put it on the figure. I've already warmed the figure up, moved it around because this is an early Valaverse, which means they could break pretty easily. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so here's the loadout. Here's the 2 different figures. We're going to load it on this Valaverse Urban Combat figure, which again, he's made to look like Firefly. You can't tell me any different. And this here, we're going to see if this makes him look like a better Firefly than the classified one. Also remember, if you really want a Firefly, there is a more classic Firefly coming to classified this year, 2023, or at least we're supposed to. So, we'll pop everything out, and let's take a look at everything that we have here. So, here is the vest that we have. There is the backpack. And there is the gun loadout. Before I do this, I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to run downstairs and I'm going to grab the figures because I should probably have the O-ring figure to compare it to. Alright, and just like that, Magic Firefly is there. So, we're going to take a look at everything. We're going to see how everything looks. And I can already tell you that the loadout is probably going to look closer to a classic Firefly than the classified, but again, I don't have a problem with some updates. So, let's quickly take a look at this here. I'm going to look at the piece that goes around him. And so quickly looking here, here's Firefly. Here's the piece that's going to go over them. And here we have the 3 grenades. Now they made them green. I'm perfectly fine with that. They got the pouches. They have pouches up there. They put a smoke grenade up here, which he doesn't have up here. Again, that doesn't bother me at all. And then you have what looks like a place for his sidearm. So they did a pretty good job of just kind of recreating what he has here, all the way up to the top of having the collar. All right, and then we have the backpack. We'll open this up. And this is just to show you exactly how it's coming out of the package. So here we go. Here's the backpack. We'll pull it up here. Now I'm missing the cover right here. I do believe this cover comes off. So slowly try and pull this. Oh, actually it's a drawer. And I like the idea that it's a drawer. That is actually really cool that you have a drawer rather than just where it just opens up and has, you know, little fake tools. Again, I'm really cool with that from, you know, the past. So here we have, look, a little computer. It looks like it's supposed to be. I'm not quite sure how this, what goes in here. Once we start pulling everything out, I guess we'll take a look at it. But again, this is different. They did it nice so you can pick it up there. That was the idea here. They put all these little pouches on there. Again, it looks really cool, and I like the idea that they did a blowtorch that connects to it. You got your valves. The color looks really nice. Paint apps look really good. And, I mean, I'm told this is 3D printed. It's soft. Doesn't feel like it's going to break. But I gotta say, if this is 3D printed, it is 3D printed on a very, very high-end 3D printer. I fix printers, not 3D printers, but I fix copiers. We do have a 3D print shop, and I gotta say, some of those that I've seen are absolutely amazing. They're like $30,000, $40,000 printers. They print up like hamburgers that look like hamburgers. So it can be done. So I've just never had a 3D printer that's that good. All right, so here is his submachine gun, and it's made to look very similar. It's obviously updated. I'm perfectly fine with the update to it. It still has the big suppressor that goes on the top here. It's got the stock. I'm fine with them changing the stock. I never understood that this stock right here, it meant he could only be right-handed, and God forbid you break a thumb. Or the thumb looks like it's getting to the point where it's going to break. The magazine, it does come out. And just have a little paint app black on the bottom. Nothing else, but again, the weapons that they do look really nice. So there you have a nice little scope. So let's take a look and see if the gun is straight. And again, here it is, a slight bend. I have an issue with that. I mentioned this before. You're spending $45, $50 after shipping and handling on something like this. This should come in something better than a bag. It should be able to keep it straight. Now I can warm this up. Again, this isn't mine, but you can warm it up. Just hot water, not boiling water, hot water. Bend it where you need it while running cold water, and then run it underneath it, and it will remold. My issue, and I'll say this again, when you're spending this much money, you shouldn't have to do that. And let's see here. So the suppressor comes off. So now you got a neat looking short submachine gun. I like that. I didn't realize this came off. And it's clearly custom to this weapon. And here we have a nice stick of dynamite. There's your blast. It's painted so it has like a dial. There's a flame for the torch, and it is a blue, because if you've ever seen most torches come off blue. This here is clearly the radio. Now, I do not have the radio for my Firefly, which I really wish I did. Listen, if you're getting into collecting, just buy complete. Don't think you're going to complete it later, because there's certain things you'll never get. And then you have your welding goggles. Now, this clearly would work for Steeler or any other figure like that, but I like the fact that they gave it to him as your welding goggles. Here's a sidearm. Looks like a 45 pistol. And then here is the canister, because obviously you need your propane to use your torch. So now let's see how easily this goes on it. You know, I never realized, I started doing live streams, how much I tend to whistle on accident. So, Valorverse figures. I'm going to guess, maybe I don't need to. Valorverse figures are extremely stiff, the early figures, so you're definitely going to want, if you get one, you're going to want to heat it up. You can pull this back a little now. Alright, so, I'm going to pop this on. It looks a little odd on a Valorverse figure, and I think it may be because of how big the shoulders set, but it doesn't look bad. It does just look a little off, but again, I'm okay with things being a little different. Here we have the backpack, and it is a tight fit. So this may be something that you're going to want to heat up the figure before you try and get that thing in there. So here we have the backpack. I'll throw the backpack on the original figure. You can see it does set kind of low. This one sets a little low. I'm okay with that. You know, the sidearm here, look at it. It's straight. It looks nice. Nice detail. And it's going to fit right on the side here. Again, I think that looks really nice. Really good. I'm already starting to really like the way this all goes together. Here we have, again, the propane, which plugs in here. Alright, so that, okay, so you know what, that looks awesome. So it plugs in here, and it connects to the gauges. Now that is, to me, is top notch. That is top notch. It looks absolutely awesome. So rather than having this as part of it, it breaks off. You have your painted gauges up here. This is a different color, so you're already popping in, having multiple colors. I think it looks really nice. I am pretty impressed with this so far. And then you can throw that on there, so everything's going to kind of set right on it. Here we have the telephone, the Zach Morris telephone, the walkie-talkie of some sorts. Fits on the back really nicely. We have our little compartment, so we can throw the dynamite in. You can also throw in the little blue, because you want to be able to carry everything on the figure. Of course, I think I may have just lost that. Sorry about that, Greg. I will find it in a minute. Oh, it's going to drive me nuts. That thing is small. Boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. There we have the goggles, and we throw the goggles on them. Now, I'm not a big fan of the goggles. It makes them look like a Steeler. Then here we have the gun. Now, the gun looks really big. And I think I might even have to heat up this Valorverse. Oh, no, okay. I heated him up, so he seems to be moving fairly nice. All right, so I pop this on here. There we go. The gun seems big to me. Just my personal opinion. So now he really looks like Steeler. It's kind of weird in my personal opinion. Alright, so that's how he looks here, fully loaded. Found the blue flame. We're gonna just leave it there for right now. So, I think that looks really good. Again, there's gotta be some place to put the goggles on the backpack. Maybe behind it. I don't know. I might have to stop this for a second. See if there's somewhere that I can figure out where it goes. So let's take this off him for right now. And we're gonna pull the blowtorch off. I love the idea of the blowtorch. So this seems pretty loose. So you might gonna want to use some sticky tack. Just put it on the back. And then just slide it on there. So it is meant so you can put them in positions where he's using the blowtorch. So there he's got the blowtorch in hand. And we can pop this. See that whistle? I never notice how much I whistle when I talk and pronounce certain words or syllables, and it drives me nuts. And I hear it all the time now that I'm doing live streams. So, there you have them there. I think it looks pretty cool. There's no doubt about it. This is a touch. And see, this is a type of modernization I wish Classified would do. I think they really went to a sci-fi at the beginning. I understand. I was okay with it. Then they started getting to the point where like the Major Bloods and everything had this type, even this Firefly, right? Modernization. I wish they just had realistic guns. And then they went straight OG repaints because everyone wanted. I think Gridiron gives you a really nice change of pace where it's like, all right, here's your classic Firefly with some modernization. This looks absolutely awesome. I like this. Still, I do complain about that because, again, I just spent 50 bucks on this and I have a weapon that comes with a bent stock. But this is better than the whole weapon being bent, which I got with the other weapons. Everything else on here looks really, really nice. This makes me just want to order the figure or order the loadout. Unfortunately, I can't get the figure. I really like the Firefly, the original Classified Firefly, so I'm not going to touch him. But who knows when the new Firefly comes out that I don't want to get this. So, let me take a second here. There's got to be a place that you can put the goggles when you're not using it. I'm kind of scrolling through this right now, so bear with me, guys, because, hey, this is how I do things. I'm not seeing where I put the goggles when they're not in use. I was hoping they would show you on the... Well, I don't see where you put the goggles, unfortunately. There's got to be some place that they can go on the backpack when you're not using it. Again, you can hang it over. You can do whatever you want with it, to be honest. We're going to try and get the flame in here. All right. Of course it ain't going to fit now, is it? There you go. All right. So now let's take a quick look at the two. Sorry that this took so long. Should have taken this on to get here, but hey, kind of know how I am. So we will take our OG Firefly, and then you can compare them here, and you can see that this looks like Firefly. This is a nice modernized update. I absolutely love the way that it looks. Is it worth around $80? That I'm just not so sure of. And then we can take the G.I. Joe Classified Firefly and ask yourself, is it worth taking him apart in putting all this stuff on it, because technically that's what it's meant to go with. But Valaverse, whether or not they say it or not, there's certain figures they definitely copied off of G.I. Joe that they wanted to get out, and this was one of them. This is clearly supposed to be Firefly. You can use them as Firefly, and then Gridiron gave you the loadout. So, there you go. That is the Tales of Two Fireflies. Alright, so something I completely missed, so I want to go over it here. There are actually two magazines. The vest already had a magazine on it, which I didn't realize it. Alright, and here you can see there's actually a bullet inside of it. So there are two magazines. That is something I quickly missed. I wanted to show you guys. And there you can see that's where it goes. Unfortunately, I'm holding it with my hand, so I can't really just slide it back down. There we go. Maybe I can do this. But anyway, it goes like that. That's the way that it was. It pushes down further, but one-handed holding it. But that's it. I want to show you guys that. Alright, so there you have it. That's the Tales of the Two Fireflies, alright? So here it is. That is the Valaverse Firefly loaded up with the Gridiron Loadout. Now, listen, I'm surprised that this figure didn't blow up in flames, because the owner of Valaverse does not like Gridiron. I don't understand. I know some people have complained that, hey, you know what? I can go 3D print my own stuff. Listen, if this stuff is 3D printed, and I have no reason not to believe it because so many people have said it, this is not being done on your $150 3D printer. I have a $150 3D printer. My buddy has a $1,000 one. This is not the quality that you get. This quality is top notch. So again, you say 3D printing, but again, I've walked into 3D printers for my work, because they have a copier, and their stuff, they're being printed on $50,000 3D printers. That's what this has to be being printed on, something like that. If it's not, then they are fooling me, and they're fooling everyone else by giving some amazing looking stuff. Still, I have to complain that the stock here is bent. I believe that this could easily be resolved by putting the loadouts and the weapons in something better than this. I'll refer back to Mark II toys, really cheap weapons, again, very bland, but they're made so you can paint. His come in a box, and they're all sealed in a plastic covering so nothing can warp. That's what Gridiron needs to do, especially if you have weapons that are known to, in the heat, kind of warp or melt. So that's what I think Gridiron needs to change. Listen, these opinions are all my honest opinions, and I'm here because do you want to spend 50 bucks on this? Not to mention the 25 bucks for a figure, if you can even get this figure still. And here he is compared to the Classified. So two completely different looks. I like the Classified. I like the way this looks. I have no problem saying, hey, I have two different, well, I could have two different Fireflies, two different looks. But this is now up to you. And let's be honest, you could get a black figure and throw this on, and I think it would look pretty nice. But I wanted to show you how it's supposed to look as an actual Firefly. I know most people have used the Classified. I'm not pulling that apart. That one you'd have to heat up, pop everything off. Not that it's a big deal, but to me, it is a very nice Firefly, and I like having some classic looking figures of the Classified. And again, we're going to be getting a Firefly. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. Again, 3 more videos. Again, you got to see how everything came boxed. It's the exact same way. This is actually the box that the 2 weapons that I ordered with came. I have other weapons in here, that's why it's making noise. But anyway, so that's the type of box they come in. I just think that it'd be better if they didn't come in a bag. They came sealed, came nice and straight, so you don't have to worry about stuff bending and everything like that. So anyway, if you want to know, if you're interested in the, in this Saboteur Loadout, the Firefly Loadout. I like it. I think it looks really, really nice. And maybe if I had a Valiverse figure lying around, the Urban Combat Republic Guard figure, I might say, you know what? I'm going to spend the 50 bucks on it. And listen, when that guard was actually available recently, because it was, I was kind of surprised. I was really on the fence about it. I was really thinking, you know what? I really do like that. It's hard because we're talking $80. You know, the Mezco G.I. Joes, which aren't out yet, are going to be like 95 to 100 bucks. Is that worth it? It's all up to you, but it looks awesome. It looks amazing. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. I just want to give you an honest, open review of what I think, and I think it's really good. I'm not going to tell you that it's worth $45 because what my worth is and what your worth is are two different things. Saying a G.I. Joe classified figure that's 25 bucks is worth it is one thing. $45 for a whole loadout, that's a whole other thing. But I will say this, I don't think you'd be disappointed if that's what you're wondering. It seems pretty sturdy to me, so I'm going to get out of here. We'll just say it. The social medias, Punk with Toys, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And then, yeah, you know that. Punk with Toys, Facebook group page. Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a Punk with Toys. And they're all my toys, right? You're going to give them to me, right? So buy these and then give them to me. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Take a second. If you haven't, I don't know why you haven't yet, but hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell notification, because guess what? I got 2 more loadouts to do, and we're going to see how they look. I think I'm going to do Roadblock next, because I have Roadblock. So we're going to see how the Roadblock loadout looks on the classic Roadblock. So anyway, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day. Before you leave, don't leave. See this right here? There's a video here. And YouTube says you should watch it. It's going to be one of my videos. And hey, you came here, you stayed this long, you should watch